To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. Voltaire. Whoops, forgot to put in that restream live chat. Hello everyone, this is Ebon. Welcome to my show. It's really not much of a show, it's just an engagement. You get to come on in. You can call in on your phone if you don't want your face to be shown, or you can actually come on in through your PC or your laptop or your phone again, with your webcam, your phone camera, and that's it. You don't have to pay, you don't have to have your own show. You can come on in and talk as long as it's pertinent to the conversation at hand and you don't censor others. And anyways, I'll just kind of go through a couple of things because I seen it this morning. I kind of want to do some stuff on it, but I had other things that I was working on. Hello Eric, hello Nash, hello Robert. Yeah, and you guys can come on in if you want to and talk about it and what you think. I obviously, and you obviously, for the people that know my stance on things, is I do not like and I do not agree what happened to Alex Jones and Infowars. I don't really watch their show. I do like I was gonna make a joke and I forgot his name. Because there's conspiracy theory that Alex Jones is Bill. I keep thinking Bill Burr. I can't. No, it's not it. Sorry. I'm getting distracted. Okay, so WikiLeaks goes on in support of Infowars, as you can see on Twitter. Infowars says it has been banned by Facebook for unspecified hate speech. Regardless of the facts in this case, the ability of Facebook to censor rival WikiLeaks. Come on, you guys are editors, right? Rival it doesn't have an extra I. To censor rival publishers is a global antitrust problem, which, along with there's an extra space. San Francisco cultural imperialism reduces political diversity, and he's replying or retweeting from Paul Joseph Watson, who also works at Infowars, saying Facebook has permanently banned Infowars for unspecified hate speech. They didn't even tell us the offending posts were. And we can go and take a look. This sets a chilling precedent for free speech. I agree. To all other conservative news outlets, you are next, not just conservative. The great censorship curse has truly begun. It's been occurring for a long time. Just a lot of the bigger outlets don't really notice the smaller outlets being purged. It's just true. Anyways, that is that. Alex Jones saying we've been banned completely on Facebook, Apple, and Spotify. What conservative news outlets will be next? It seems like the same one. It's not a side issue. It's a go. All right. Let me rename. How's it going, Nash? We can't hear you yet. Just when you're ready, go ahead and talk. Raise my headphones. I heard something. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not conservative news outlets. It's all outlets. It's all news. It's all commentating. It's all information. Who needs to ban books? Burn books when you can just ban them from platforms. Redacted Nightly Camp says, so it begins. YouTube and Facebook just banned Infowars again. It's not just begun. It's been happening for a long time. Infowars content is idiot trash, but this pushes us further down the scary road. Did we consent to a corporatocracy that gets to decide what ideas can and can't be heard? This is how corporate fascism gets sold to the masses. And then there's Ajamu Baraka. This is just, all I did was just type in Infowars ban, and I just got a bunch of results, so that's where I'm getting from. Ajamu Baraka says, the politically naive are celebrating that powerful private telecommunication companies that have privatized and monetized speech decided people are too stupid to think for themselves and banned Alex Jones and Infowars. They don't care about Jones, but they do care about the left. I kind of got lost on the last one. They don't care about Jones, but they do care about the left. I don't know.
I thought it was kind of funny when Hillary Clinton mentioned Alex Jones. I mean, right there, I was like, that. Just spark up a dude, man.
Yeah. I mean, why am I not signed in? Did YouTube? Oh my goodness. YouTube is acting funny on me too. Hey Fly, hey Bob, hey Bruins. So yeah, and there's more updates. You can see more results coming in, and we can go ahead. Oh, just before I keep going, tomorrow at noon Eastern time, which will be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be having special guest Political Avenger on, as well as CommonSense Avenger, both. Hopefully they can make it, and we'll be talking about the censorship and the things that go on with Julian Assange and Infowars and what's going on in Venezuela and a bunch of other things. It's just, normally I don't do things like that at that time, but that's the best time that they have. Now, there's a lot more Twitter stuff. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Nash?
On what, Twitter?
On Infowars being banned by.
Oh, Infowars. Hey, man, I kind of dig Alex Jones. He shouldn't be censored. I'm not crazy about the guy in the same breath. He's one of the first people that, made me start to question things and do my own research. He was there in the beginning, so I respect him for that. Is he a Time Warner guy? Is he an actor? Is he a shill? Those questions are still out there.
Yep.
I certainly have my questions, but
yep, I agree.
We have a First Amendment, and I stand by the First Amendment. I don't care who's talking.
Yep. And hey, if we don't want to listen, we don't have to watch or listen, right? We have that option. So if you don't like Alex Jones, just don't watch Alex Jones. It's that simple. We get a choice of what we want to watch or don't want to watch.
Yeah, no one's forcing you to smoke cigarettes either. You made the damn choice.
Exactly. So this article I want to go over because it is their article on their website by Paul Joseph Watson. This is today. It says, the real reason Apple, Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube banned Infowars. This is what election meddling looks like. Statement from Alex Jones. The EU is already fining Google and others if they don't start censoring speech by calling it hate speech and or fake news. When our government doesn't start fining them for violations of free speech, racketeering, and trust monopolistic behavior, that encourages other governments like China and the EU have influence over the free market of ideas. But this situation also highlights the trust set up by multinational combines based in China and in Europe that's stealing all of our rights and freedoms through a concentrated effort. Let me zoom in for people. Over 2.5 years ago, Matt Drudge came to our studio and warned of this attack on the First Amendment. That's why they want alternative and independent media shut down. They would have done all of this last year had Hillary gotten into the White House. Yeah, due to Trump instead getting elected, this plan has been held off for about 1.5 years. Now it seems they don't fear Trump for whatever reason, and now they're making their move. But I don't think President Trump has been compromised, but he's compromising himself one way or another if his administration doesn't make this the central issue. Free speech is the central issue. This is the heart of the matter. This is the core. This is it. I agree with that. Apple, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube all banned Infowars within 12 hours of each other, illustrating how last night's purge was a coordinated effort and has nothing to do with these platforms enforcing hate speech rules. Here are the reasons Infowars is being purged by big tech. Infowars is widely credited with having played a key role in electing Donald Trump. By banning Infowars, big tech is engaging in election meddling just 3 months before crucial midterms. With the Infowars ban, Apple, Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube, Google, have all now ascribed themselves the power to remove people and outlets from their platforms based on their political opinions. This power will be abused time and time again to meddle in elections. I agree. The ban also sets the precedent that the mere charge alone of having committed hate speech with no specific examples even provided is enough to memory hole an individual or group's digital presence. Yeah. The ban is just part of a wider censorship purge that also uses stealth censorship, shadow banning, and algorithmic manipulation to hide and bury conservative content. I would just like to say, I agree and disagree. He likes to throw in the sideism of conservative content, but there's also leftist content, independent content. It's just content that they don't want people to have or to see. Apple also chose to shut down Infowars after repeatedly criticized them for working with and selling data to the communist Chinese government. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. For conservative,
yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, Ebon. They want us, dumb. They want us sick. They want us, totally just,
Yeah.
They want. I mean, that's what they want.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Let's see. For conservative media outlets who don't speak out because they don't like Infowars, we have a message for you. You're next. Facebook banned Infowars after lobbying by both CNN and Democratic Congressman Ted. I don't know how to spell his last name, but let's just say Ted Douche. This isn't just a private company. This is brazen political censorship. This is the outcome of the left refusing to debate their ideas and simply, nope, editor, come on, not platforming their platforming their adversaries instead. Yeah, come on, editing. This is the modern day electronic equivalent of book burning. I agree with that. This is throwing dissidents in the big tech gulag because their voices were becoming too loud and having too much influence. This is the purge. This is election meddling and collusion. It will only intensify unless lawmakers act now to introduce a digital bill of rights and treat social media giants as telecommunications companies who are forbidden by law from discriminating against people and media outlets based on their political opinions. And that was it.
I'm dying over here, man. Shirley called Hillary Clinton a heifer.
Yeah. Hey, Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley, you rock.
Hey, what are you guys doing? You guys should be coming in and talking about it. It'd be nice to hear your voice again, Shirley.
Yeah,
I know. We can, I don't know. I like it when Eric and Shirley are, and I'm telling you, you guys got to do your own show. It'd be awesome.
No doubt. Eric and Shirley should definitely do a show. No doubt.
So just so you guys know, I won't be having a very long show tonight. That's why I started early. So probably if we end going to around midnight, that'll still be about 3.5 hours. Just so you know, we're not gonna have that 6.5 to 7 hour show tonight. But yeah, this is disconcerting. It's they finally hit a big. This purge has happened quite often. There's been outlets that have been purged that had a couple 100,000 subscribers and stuff. But there really hasn't been something so huge. It would be something like if it was on the left, if there is, I'm sorry about the sidism thing. But if it happened on the left, it'd be like this happening to TYT. That it's not happening TYT. It does make you think a little though, doesn't it? So what do you think is next? What's the next big conservative outlet aside from Infowars? I mean, I can't really think of any. Are you still there, Nash?
Oh yeah, I'm here, baby. Fox News. Maybe Ainsley Earhart will, you know, go rogue.
I don't know if Fox News would get banned. I mean, they have their own network, but then being banned on YouTube for Fox News, that'd be a stretch. But I don't know. That would be interesting if that did happen. If Fox News got banned from YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify and Apple.
I can't see that happening,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would be. It would be.
Because that's like a big network. I mean, it'd be war of the I don't know, outlets. I mean, it'd be a big thing as far as the sidism war. I don't like partaking.
Would be a pretty.
Oh, go ahead.
That would be a pretty big show. I mean, Rupert Murdoch is probably in bed with all these people on YouTube anyway. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past any of them to play psyops in these games. You know, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust fucking anybody.
Yeah. It is. The thing is, yeah, you might not be burned. But then you might not get benefits when you. I mean, there are people that you have to trust. I trust my wife. I trust my kids. Hopefully, they can keep trusting them. There's a couple of friends that I do trust. Until that trust becomes negated by mistrust, then that's the end of that. It's just.
Yeah, well, you know, that's different. That's your family. That's you know, we're talking about crazy
Strangers.
stuff here.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you trust family. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Even my family, who I told you I'm diametrically opposed with politically on so many levels, I still trust them with my life, of course. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
We just don't agree.
Yeah. And politics is so dividing when it really shouldn't be. And it's, for me, I've changed quite a bit. I just think that it doesn't matter what side you're on. The people who are in charge are corrupt. You're not going to get what you want. The people aren't going to get what they want. The people who even voted for the person that's in charge aren't going to get what they want. That's pretty bad.
and that's what it's about, Ebon. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I could be totally politically opposed to a lot of what people view, but there's so much more to life than our political views,
Yeah.
So when we sit around Thanksgiving, it's not like a painful thing. We're all having a good time.
Yeah. And no matter what, it just seems like whoever you get in and you want something and they implement it, it never runs right. So not only do they not plan it right, they don't implement it right, they don't execute it correctly. So not only does it make it so it's worse in the future, because they'll try something and it's like, hey, we tried we tried this, it doesn't work, so let's not even put it on the table anymore. And people would be going, no, it's not right because you guys didn't plan and execute it correctly. And that's just the way it works. They're pretty bad at it on purpose. Hey, how's it going, Shirley? Hello?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going? Don't tell me
Hey,
you're on the
Shirley,
road
how you
and talking.
I mean, I cannot believe that man been on YouTube. He had that big following for decades.
Yeah.
They didn't even do this when he said stadium wasn't real. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And those were little kids that were murdered. So I'm like, all is because that heifer did not win. They're trying to justify it.
The heifer.
And my thing is, Jamal Thomas, they demonetized all his videos. They say he can, in September, he can file a repeal or appeal it or something. And he don't even know what video they talking about, why they demonetized his whole show.
Yep.
It's a shame. It's not. They just saying they doing the right. That's a bunch of BS. They doing the left too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
No, they don't like anyone that has a unique, open mind who makes people critically think. You know, if you're a thought provoker, you know, we have no use for you.
Yeah.
So do you think the timing's based on the midterms, the 2018 elections?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're not talking about that blue wave no more.
Yeah. So it is funny because the DNC can't change their corrupt ways and their cheating ways. They have to double down and pretty much break laws more. I mean, not just laws, just fundamental laws and rights. And this just shows how powerful they are. So Shirley, are you sure you're not going to change your mind that Hillary Clinton in 2020 is going to not win because they're just going to shut down outlets?
Ebon, you are going to look adorable in your pink hat.
No, I think you will be looking adorable, and we'll be able to finally see Nash on camera.
Well, there's a picture. I sent Shirley a picture of me. She could pass it along. You can see what I look like.
But you also have...
Hey, does anyone watch Chris Simpson? He always come out with breaking news on YouTube.
What's his name?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He broke something today. He comes up with different things, and he broke today. Hillary and Obama are responsible for starting organ transplants to the African countries.
Oh yeah, that's been around for a long while, but
I know.
I'm glad he's bringing it back up. That's the thing. There's so much stuff going on in this world that's horrible that we keep jumping to the next big horrible story after big horrible story. Who's running this show? Who's running the show? I mean, the world. And obviously, they can't run it right. And what they would rather do instead of fixing it is to cover it up and hush people who are talking about it, trying to expose the problem from happening. Thing is, if they actually put more effort into actually fixing it or preventing the problems from ever occurring in the first place, we wouldn't be at this situation.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Cheryl. How's it going? Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Nash. Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good. That's a
hey,
different
Eric,
viewpoint.
What's going on, brother? Loving the South Park games, man. The South Park games were hilarious. So funny. I have to get that.
Thanks. Yeah, because I'm just trying out a phone here and see if it works. Yeah. But it works great.
Works pretty good. You know, you should just get instead of a ceiling with the stars, you could just get one of those. Where are those?
Oh yeah,
glass ceilings?
that's my fan that I use. It's actually useful for summers.
Yeah. I just noticed this. Are those glow in the dark stars?
Oh, the funny thing is, when I moved in, I didn't even take them down.
Okay, so they're there before. That's funny. So what
did you guys see on Twitter that Christine Assange, Julian's mother, has said, don't send him, he don't want any letters from anyone. He wants you to send them to different organizations, congressmen, and all different people. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Jamal did a video on that today.
Okay.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
But it's like
give to the people that's doing this to me.
Mothers are always dropping wisdom. You gotta love mom.
I can't wait.
Christine Assange is awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait till she can finally connect with the entire Unity for J group movement and all this other stuff.
Well, the deep state is blocking her.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't believe in coincidences. Timing is always a factor.
They want to go
and look what happened to you. You got a visit from the FBI?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they were friendly. The timing was weird because that 3 hours from then was the live stream start for the Unity for J online vigil. So it would have been weird if something happened, because then there would have been a lot of postponement on the live stream.
So what did they want, Ebon? What did they ask you? Why would they there?
I went over this in a live stream last night, in the original one of when they came. It's just the same questions. You can look back on those videos. It explains it there.
Okay, Rana.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask Eric what your thought on is it. I mean, it feels like I don't need to ask you guys. I already know. But I just want people to hear it.
Oh, with the whole thing with Alex Jones,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's one thing. He should be able to say whatever he wants, because here's one thing that, but here's like one thing that I really, really do truly think about. It's like, why aren't they going after, it's like the establishment media, now that they're exposed and now that they're going after people who tell the truth? Why isn't anyone going after the establishment media, or just keep ignoring the establishment media, the corporate media, the one that lied and cheated to us in the first place about the DNC emails? It's like, why should anyone really truly trust them in the first place?
Yeah,
that's a good question, Eric.
Yeah, especially looking at the DNC emails. I mean, I truly, everyone should truly be pissed off at the mainstream media, because they've been lying, they've been disinforming people, especially when it came to the 2016 election. That's why people should question what the mainstream media propagates. And whatever triggers the establishment, they're going to want to censor that voice. I mean, look what they did to Julian Assange when he was talking about Catalonia. They censored him.
Yep.
And that's like, I wanted to hear more about it. Yeah. It's like, I really do miss Julian Assange, him, giving out news and everything with WikiLeaks. I'm just really sick. To tell the truth, I am really extremely sick of the corporate media, because they keep lying, they keep lecturing, they keep playing these mind games. And the DNC emails and the Podesta emails are the proof that they keep still playing these games. And why hasn't anyone gone after them in the first place? Yeah. I mean, they should be held accountable. That's the real collusion right there. That's the real collusion right there. They blame another country, they marginalize another country, And they would rather keep playing this blame game instead of taking any personal responsibility. Although they're lecturing the same thing. Oh, you shouldn't blame them. You shouldn't blame our side. Look at the other side. They're just as corrupt. You know what? I do see as both parties are, corrupt. I mean, there are some people that actually stand for something on, the right and the left or wherever. It just depends if you're really truly standing for something. It's either you're going to stand or for spew. How I see the corporate media and how they keep lying to us, they just keep spewing nonsense and distraction, not getting anything done. They lecture for the establishment. They the whole stenographer. Yeah, that's absolutely right. They read off of stenographers. They read from a lecturing teleprompter. I mean, it is scripted.
Yep.
And plus the DNC emails and the Podesta emails prove that 100%. It's like, why isn't anyone holding the corporate media accountable with the collusion? The collusion really, really does matter. It's just
they never denied it.
Exactly. They never denied it. They just kept ignoring it in silence.
They just shifted the topic elsewhere.
Yes, exactly.
They never denied it. They supplied it.
Yep. Grant Jarvis from Live Chat brings up a great point. He can see RT going. RT is not a conservative network, but they're pretty against the establishment. They're pretty left, I would say.
I love RT. I had to watch it online. They took it off TV here.
Well, what would be a good thing? Because, once they take off programs, we should be boycotting the corporate media because they want to, they just want to just keep spewing out this propaganda, unlike CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all these corporate media outlets. I mean, they're all in it together.
Yeah.
Well, last year, it was a bunch of people outside of CNN protesting against them, saying they fake news or whatever. They didn't even cover it. They were right outside the main CNN headquarters.
But they should do that with every media outlet that colluded with the DNC. Why aren't people out there boycotting and protesting them? I mean, if they're really that truly pissed off about Trump, they should be. They're being pissed off by the wrong people. They're being pissed off by the people that propagate. It'd be like, let's go blame these group of people because we're fake news and we're misleading people. Well, let's blame the wrong people instead of blaming ourselves. And it's no wonder why people say no wonder why you see like the Trump rallies when they shout CNN sucks, CNN sucks. And that's great. I actually like that. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's bad, Eric. It's bad, man, and that's one of the reasons why we fail. Is we just constantly just look at any figurehead to blame, yell at. We don't focus on what unites us. We look at what divides us.
Did you hear Brian Stelter from CNN got a death threat? He even played the recording on air. I was cracking up.
He doesn't deserve a death threat, but like he should just be called fake news, like and stop lecturing to these propagandists. I mean, that's what they should be doing.
They're making themselves victims. Even if this reporter was MSNBC, she gets all these emails saying, "We hate you. You lie." And why would you come on TV and talk about that? Call the police.
Exactly.
How can anyone take MSNBC seriously anymore? I mean,
they're a bunch of lecturing, lying propagandists. I mean, even Trump called them fake news. I mean, what's next? Fox News is gonna go up against Trump or something. Like, I could probably see that happen because some of the people are gonna get pissed off, like with certain things. Because, like, here's one thing. The media is scared now because, now that the truth is coming out, especially with those DNC emails and Podesta emails. I mean, that's the thing that the corporate media is fighting back, but they should be fighting again. They should be reconstructing for their own corruption and actually, you know, be like, the DNC was responsible for this. I mean, and they just want to keep, and they lecture for the propagandists. And you know what? People should be boycotting and protesting them for, you know, bad journalism. And
you're 100% correct, Eric, man. I mean, they just care about the money. They get up there and they read, and they're in our houses every morning, so we feel like we know them. But they don't give a flying crap about the truth. The American way, the Constitution, you, your family, they don't care. They just want their paycheck.
I know Chuck Todd had a fundraiser for Hillary at his house.
Who?
Chuck Todd from MSNBC.
Chuck Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, MSNBC. MSNBC is fake news.
That was in the email.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's the political influence, and plus also talk about Hollywood as well. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like Hollywood as well. I mean, look at the George Clooney dinners, and no one's talking about Amal Clooney. And like, what was like with Amal Clooney? I was like, and people are talking about George Clooney and not George Clooney's wife. Like, where is it? Yeah, HA is starting another live stream. I'm also a moderator on HA Goodman's channel.
Yeah, we know.
You do a good job over there, Eric, too.
Yeah,
I do.
So, what is she? Muslim Brotherhood? Is she a man? What's the deal with Amal Clooney?
Oh no, she's not part. Oh, she's not part of that at all. Like,
she's not Muslim Brotherhood.
Like, it was something about Julia. Like the, I mean, I don't think so. And like with me, it's like, when everyone brings up George Clooney, why doesn't anyone bring up Amal Clooney? Like, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, some of these people are giving out, like, you know, hints. Like, it's like, why isn't anyone talking about Amal Clooney?
It's good to
like,
leave it as a
I'm
question.
trying to, you know, I'm kind of mumbling.
No, it's fine. Leave it as a question, because sometimes the question is much more powerful than the answer, because people would go and investigate the question, but if they're given an answer, they might not. They'd say, "Oh, you don't know." But if you leave it as a question, people will have to go and find out for themselves, and I think that's preferable. Money. I feel like the corporations, the big three, or I guess
and plus Hollywood as well,
would lose a lot of money by taking out Alex Jones's Infowars. So they don't seem to care about the money generated from that.
Because they're making money from all these corrupted, greedy politicians. All they just want to do is censor, because they get it. It's like whatever offends the establishment and whatever triggers them. Like whatever triggers their narrative, they want to censor, like a social justice warrior. That's actually the way I actually do see the establishment. They get triggered by the truth and they want to go and censor and silence because of some bullshit policy. That's actually the way I actually do see it.
To be true.
Hey, did you hear Barack Obama getting ready to get the RFK Human Rights Award? That is fucking laughable.
Yeah.
Oh God. What is Obama gonna, you know, lecture through the when he gets an award? Like probably make some like lecture like George Clooney.
So Brent is following up. So he's asking the question, and I just like to ask questions. Was it true that Amal Clooney's law partner was Assange's attorney, who suddenly passed away?
Who attorney?
Assange's attorney, Julian Assange's attorney.
Whoa. What?
You can read on live chat. I don't know. That's something I'll look up too. That sounds interesting.
Was it true that Amal Clooney's law partner was Assange's attorney? And those who like speak about George Clooney, I was like, I mean, with such celebrity power, shouldn't he be standing with Julian Assange instead of standing with the Cankle Queen, Hillary? I do bring that up as a good point, and it just shows that Hollywood doesn't stand for anything.
Here we go.
I mean, that's my opinion that I do see that.
Well, George Clooney did say it was an obscene amount of money. We got that on film.
Exactly. It was an obscene amount of money. I mean, for Hillary... Yes, for Hillary Clinton. All for the Cankle Queen.
The Cankle Queen.
All for the Cankle Queen. All for Cankle Queen Hillary. No, I mean, like, you know, it's all Hillary. And you know why she's doing it? She's just covering up her bullshit tracks. All it is. She doesn't care. I mean, look at the same tactics that they keep playing, and they keep playing the same tactics. I mean, we're still in 2018. I mean, we could look back at 2016, then 2017, and 2018. They just keep lying to us, and they keep lecturing. It's like, I'm actually one of those people. I'm just sick of it, and that's why I just. Here's one thing. That's why I turn it off and don't even watch it. It's just nonsensical. It's all a distraction. Doesn't get anything done. All they just do is just lecture for the establishment. Also, I would rather watch people that have actually, would actually, dissect it and actually, go through, the sources and actually break through the BS and the propaganda that goes along with it. And actually, stand for something instead of just spewing the nonsense. That's how I see the corporate media. I just really truly don't like it. I mean, they brainwash people.
You got good reason not to like it, my man.
I mean, I stay away from it, but when I watch something like, Hard Bastard or H.A. Goodman or Styx, they are on the point as well.
Yeah. Quick segue. So I did a search on Google and on DuckDuckGo. And the second one on DuckDuckGo was True Activist. I don't know how legit they are, but this is by Amanda Froelich on September 5th, 2016. And it's always good to look at different sources. This is approximately a month after Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, released a batch of incriminating Hillary Clinton emails. His reputable lawyer, John Jones, was found dead. Before its news reports that Jones, 48, was killed on August 15, 2016 when he was run over by a commuter train in Britain. How do you get run over by a train? Police arrived at the West Hampstead train station in North London at 7:07 a.m. The authorities were quick to rule the lawyer's death a suicide. WikiLeaks has countered that claim, stating it was foul play. Jones was a top human rights lawyer who worked on the same team as Amal Clooney, wife of George Clooney. His specialty was extradition, war crimes, and counterterrorism. Many of the cases he took concerned former Yugoslavia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Lebanon, and Cambodia. Hey Dave, how's it going? So that's an interesting tidbit for people who want to go and investigate it some more. How you doing, Dave?
I just got home.
Welcome
and
back.
I saw the topic and I was like, okay.
How was your ride home?
You don't want my rabbit hole topics, but I see you want to come in and talk about Alex Jones, huh? Who goes down the same rabbit holes.
No,
how you doing, Dave?
Hi. It's the whole free speech issue.
Yep.
And the problem is when you ban this guy for no reason, you legitimize him. So, let him talk and debunk the guy. I probably added about an hour to my drive, responding to everybody flipping out about Alex Jones. So it's, if you don't like the man or you don't like what he says, then find the appropriate counter argument and debunk him. I mean, you might not like Kyle Kalinske either, but he debunks the hell out of Alex Jones. You know, and that's some of the more effective stuff that Kyle does.
Yeah.
So you know, and even a broken clock is right twice a day. So Alex isn't wrong all the time.
Yeah. And yeah, one of the things that about that point is it was kind of like if you watch Jon Stewart way back when Bush was president, having Bush as president gave us a lot of content, right? Having Alex Jones around gives everyone else a lot of content, you know, a lot of things you could comment on, something to debate against or for or whatever. And now that's at least suspended until they figure out where to go next.
Why was he suspended? For what specific thing that he said was he suspended, or was he just suspended?
It's a general blanket of hate speech.
Yeah. I wonder, you know, I think the question is Alex Jones just playing a role? Is this part of the agenda, or is he for real? I mean, we put the First Amendment aside because we know freedom of speech is something special, and that's another animal. But is Alex a piece of shit?
We don't know.
Alex is a shill. Alex is a salesman. You know, and I don't know if you caught my little. I had to take that video down that I did earlier today because it was just like all over the place because my video was going down. I was like, but it's like Rush Limbaugh said something about Julian Assange having a phishing attack against I believe it was Comey. So if he can do that to Comey, he can do that to you. So buy LifeLock. You know, they just throw shit up against the wall so they can sell crap. And that's, you know, that's a lot of what Alex does. Now, you know, is he disinformation? Well, yeah. But does some of the things that he says turn out to be true? Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, you can't lie 100% of the time. We all know that. Even Fox News and the mainstream media do that. I mean, they lie, 50%. They got to give you some truth. Yeah. You can't be 100% full of shit.
They have to mix it in because if they lie all the time, no one's going to watch, and they're going to obviously know that's lies. Yeah, you're right. And my reservation about Alex Jones is when I was diving into Bill Cooper's work, and Bill Cooper interviewed Alex Jones before Alex Jones got really big and internet popped up with YouTube and all this other stuff, and Bill Cooper called Alex Jones a liar, big fat stinking liar, and all this other stuff. And I'd rather trust Bill Cooper than I would Alex Jones, so that's where I'm at with that. But still, yeah.
Lee Stranahan on the Unity for Jay talking about how he was interviewed by Alex Jones, and he doesn't agree with everything that Alex says, but that Alex has a right to say it. I mean, I have to break it up a little bit. I'm watching freaking in the rest stop, freaking Anderson Cooper talking about LeBron James. And the stupid ass Trump tweets about LeBron James. It's like, really, God's sake,
Anderson Cooper is a heifer.
How does everyone feel? How does everyone feel about freaking LeBron James
Cooper.
President? Really? I mean, we have had a basketball player run for president before. Bill Bradley did it, but he was congressman. But I'm like, who gives a shit?
And what people don't realize is that Infowars, in connection with Julian Assange, is they sent out a petition to free Julian Assange. I mean, a big network platform like Infowars to help get Julian Assange out is big. That's another message. Who knows?
Well, do you think that Alex doing that? I mean, Alex knows, I think, that he is considered to be out there. So do you think that he did that kind of as a backhand move? Or do you think he...
For me, it doesn't matter. I think just getting information out there, just getting notoriety, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
This
mean,
just happened.
that's big. I think it gives. I mean, there's no slant on it. It's just this is what's going on. There's put more energy into people just seeing it, and I agree with that. And there's no slant towards Julian Assange or WikiLeaks or anything like that. It's just here's a petition, free speech, get him out of there. Human rights, get him out of there. So
was he actually banned after the fact, after this petition came out, or before?
After.
Holy shit. That'd be very interesting to have Alex Jones on Unity for Jay.
Yeah.
Wonder how that would go.
What's cool is so Caitlin Johnstone. Here's a good one, and you know I don't really look around Twitter that much, as you notice. I don't do a lot of tweets, but here Caitlin Johnstone saying Julian Assange's mother had just been contacted by Infowars for an interview immediately prior to Silicon Valley's coordinated destruction of Infowars' audience. So, and you can see Christine Assange, coincidence or deep state coordinated censorship. 1. Alex Jones recently released a petition to Trump to pardon Julian and drop all charges. 2. I was contacted by Alex Jones' producer to do an interview in the last 48 hours. I am Julian Assange's mother. That is awesome. So yeah, that's that adds another layer to this.
I actually didn't know all that.
Yeah, I just
that does add another layer to it. That's obvious retaliation.
Could be, yeah. And what would be interesting is to see if maybe they just drop the petition, they drop the interview, and then they come back on. then we have a better idea. So it's usually when you just wait time, after time, everything plays out, and as long as you pay attention to it, you can actually figure out what is exactly happening by how people react. Hey, Shirley, what's it going? Are you just trying to, or is Nash?
I think it'd be funny for him to like drop the petition, like drop the interview, and then have like, oh, we have a surprise guest, and have freaking Christine on. I mean,
yeah.
You think Alex is above that? I don't think so.
Yeah. but yeah, this is needed. As much as I hate that it happened, I'm also glad that it happened, because now they're in the fight for free speech, First Amendment all the way, not just for conservative outlets, for everyone, right? So they're in it. So this big oppressive juggernaut that is not just the tech giants, but not just the DNC, but just all the power players, they just want to censor. And now we've got a bigger opposition, bigger ally. I mean, we can't fight each other if we're not allowed to say anything and argue and debate. So first we gotta defend ourselves against the ones who are attacking with censorship.
We just point at each other. We don't say anything.
Yeah, it's like going out to protest. You just have white blanketed signs with nothing on it. It's like, what kind of protest is that? Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to be in the future.
And in all honesty, bringing up Kyle's name again.
Oh, you TYT show.
Kyle, for all his bull crap, there was two things that I like Kyle for. Kyle, number one, you know, the secular talk thing, he calls out religion. He always does. He calls out the hypocrisy of religion. And the second thing is he's a huge free speech guy. Now, if he doesn't come out on this Alex Jones thing,
I think he has. He has.
He has to. You know, he always does. With especially against the guys that he really hates because they're taking material away from him.
yeah, exactly.
So
I mean,
you know,
that's true. No, okay, I'm gonna do a quick one. Yeah, I always get copyrighted anyway, so I'll just play it back. I'm serious. The great thing about having copyright infringement all the time is they make money for it. The people who get the copyright stuff. So
that's who I was trying to remember. Yeah, the last one that I saw was Ben Shapiro.
So here I am, ready to do the show. Kind of excited for today's show because we had a bunch of great stories to cover. Have a bunch of great stories to cover. I don't know why I'm talking in the past tense. And a vital laptop for the show that has all the clips that are going to be needed for today's show crapped out. So this has happened before, no big deal. Obviously had to go to get it fixed.
Welcome to our world.
Rush on it. Let the person know, hey, I'll pay extra if we get this done today. Long story short, looks like we are gonna get it done today, so the show will be happening later today. Yes, I do look like a cop right now. Jimmy Dore would be very, very saddened by my attire at the moment with my cop glasses. So we are gonna do the show later today. Should be a great show, but obviously this was a pain in the ass and this was unexpected. The first segment I was gonna do was the breakdown of my Fox appearance. That's still gonna be the first segment I do in the show. I have a lot to say about my Fox appearance. Personally, I had a lot more fun this time around than I did last time around. But there are moments in the Fox interview that I need to address in detail because, you know, you're so limited in the format when you're on Fox that it doesn't really give you the leeway to say everything you want to say. So, you know, specifically the Cori Bush interview is the thing I want to pontificate more about. We'll do that. But figured I'd shoot a little video now. I'm at a red light and people next to me are gonna look at me like I'm fucking crazy talking to myself. Let's try to make it look a little less awkward here. Move the camera down. Well, one thing I wanted to talk about, this wasn't scheduled for today's show, but I just saw it this morning and I figured I'll do a separate video on this right now, is that I think it was Apple, iTunes, they decided to pull Alex Jones' show, and then Facebook decided to pull some of Alex Jones' shows, and then I think Spotify didn't pull his entire show, but they pulled certain episodes. And there's a little bit of contradictory information on that. I've seen like a few different headlines, some of them saying that Alex Jones' entire show was pulled from Apple, some of them saying that it was only some of them. Again, I think Spotify only pulled some of his shows, but I'm a little disheartened by the reaction to this. I see a lot of, you know, not so subtle celebrations over this fact, and I don't think it's something to celebrate. Now, listen, put my record up against anybody else's record when it comes to calling out Alex Jones bullshit. I mean, I honestly think I'm #1 in that category. I am the Tiger Woods. I'm the Michael Jordan of calling out Alex Jones bullshit. I make a habit of doing it. I do it at least once a week. And again, that's bare minimum. So I'm second to nobody in fact-checking that motherfucker, and I'm second to nobody in calling him out when he's spewing his conspiracy theories and, you know, peddling to the far right. So I'm pretty much as anti-Alex Jones as humanly possible. But having said that, this is a matter of principle. Now, I get it. It's not that, you know, this is a literal First Amendment issue, because Alex Jones is not having his speech suppressed by the government. So this isn't a literal First Amendment issue. However, this is the principle of the First Amendment. Even though these are private corporations and they get to determine who does and doesn't come on their website, I think that this is the principle of the First Amendment is at play here. And this is a terrible precedent. So if you pull Alex Jones down, and they give specific reasons, okay, it's not because he does fake news. Fake news is technically permissible. This is what they say. They say, oh, it's because of specific segments, you know, doing hate speech. And, you know, there was a segment recently where he threatened Robert Mueller and did this weird simulating shooting him online. Now,
Sue Hatfield, grit and grace for Connecticut's future.
Is that incitement? Maybe. I mean, it's borderline. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely segments he's done. We called out doofus B-team boy Harrison when he did that segment, and he was calling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders parasites and talking about how they're leeches and they need to be eradicated. So don't get me wrong. There's been a bunch of stuff that's like borderline incitement, but in my mind, you need to basically say anything goes except the clear cases of it. Now, I'm not saying Alex Jones isn't an odious force in this world. In fact, I think he is, which is why I call him out all the time. But to take down his show from these prominent outlets, I mean, that is a terrible precedent, because what now? What now? Oh, Alex Jones, he's a fringe conspiracy theorist. We really gotta pull down his show. Okay, well, what about, you know, hey, Kyle Kulinski and Jimmy Dore? I mean, these guys, they've really been pushing back against Russiagate. And it sure looks like 17 intelligence agencies, as the talking point goes, which is bullshit, because that includes like the Coast Guard, and they did the old Dick Cheney trick of go to anybody at that agency and get them to tell you what you want to hear, and then say, the entire agency said. So, you know, I push back on Russiagate, Jimmy Dore pushes back on Russiagate. You know, you think that somebody with my position on the DNC email hacks, how it was good that we saw it no matter who the source was. Even if Russia was the one that released the DNC emails, okay, we still learned about primary rigging. Who in their right mind can say, I'm against knowing that the primary was rigged and that there was corruption at the highest levels of the DNC because of the source of that information? Partisan hacks say that. But guess what? That's the mainstream media position in this country. That's the mainstream media position. So people look at me and they think, oh, well, he's the conspiracy theorist, he's the crazy one, and to give that take on things is not okay. You know, look at it in Syria, with the fact that we are literally arming jihadists. Now, it can be indirectly or it could be directly. I really don't know. Frankly, I really don't care. All that I want to point out is the objective fact that, indeed, we are arming jihadists. I mean, we just covered the story from The Independent the other day. They found U.S. serial numbers on the weapons, the stockpiles of weapons that ISIS had. Now, people are going to look at me talking about these things that are objectively true, and they're going to say, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're on the fringes, it's not okay that you say that, hey, maybe we should look at pulling down him. Because it always happens. Oh, you start by going after the guy on the right, and then they're going to say, well, look, we need to be equal, we need to be neutral, we need to show that we're equally against fake news on both sides. Fake news on both sides. So I don't know, you know, Alex Jones, kind of a conspiracy theorist, okay to pull him down. Well, you know, Jimmy Dore, kind of a conspiracy theorist, we think he is too, we'll pull him down. Kyle Kulinski, I don't know, kind of a conspiracy theorist, pull him down too. So once you set the precedent, basically what's happening now is people are begging oligarchs from Silicon Valley to be the ultimate arbiters of what is real news and what is fake news. And you don't want that to happen because they're never going to do it in a fair way. They're never going to do it in an objective way. They're going to do it in a way that coddles people who are in power, who are begging them to take these actions. And what do you know? The people who most want to censor and deplatform and regulate free speech online, it happens to be the establishment. So this is a terrible idea. And in fact, another story that we're going to cover in the show later today is 75% of cases where there's a crackdown on free speech on college campuses, 75% are actually against the left. So that's not the way the narrative is covered. The narrative is framed as if, oh, it's only the right-wingers and it's Milo Yiannopoulos and it's Ben Shapiro and, you know, these guys are the ones who are being censored and deplatformed. No, when you go to the data, yes, let me be clear, they actually are being censored sometimes and deplatformed, and I'm against that. I think they should be allowed to speak. But 75% of the cases, it's people with left-wing views who are censored or deplatformed, and it just doesn't get covered. And a lot of that, by the way, is pro-Palestine activism. You get censored and deplatformed if you're in favor of BDS, for example. So, listen, man, it's just a bad road to go down. You don't want to go down the road of, let's have very powerful Silicon Valley oligarchs regulate and filter and censor the content that we want to see. And again, I don't even know, like, why are people afraid of Alex Jones? Like, he's probably the easiest person on the internet to debunk. And I'm not just saying that. It's so easy to take one of his claims and just hold it up against the facts and then laugh at him and mock him and take him down using words. You want to talk about a free exchange of ideas? Well, here you go. That's a free exchange of ideas. Let me show you what Alex Jones says, and then let me explain to you how he's factually wrong. So I don't know. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. Sure, some people who watch him are gonna, you know, they're on the fringes, and who knows what the fuck they'll do, and maybe he plants some bad seeds in their mind. But same thing with fucking Fox News. Honestly, same thing with MSNBC. With O'Reilly fucking on there talking about George Tiller, the baby killer. And then, you know, eventually somebody went and shot George Tiller. So should that have been like, okay, now Fox News needs to be censored and pulled off the air? I mean, I don't understand this logic. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's not like MSNBC isn't doing anti-Donald Trump stuff 24/7. So if somebody does and takes action and tries to harm President Trump, should MSNBC be censored and deplatformed? I mean, there's no logic. It's people with power taking independent outlets, whether you agree or disagree with them, or think they're spewing fake news and liars, or aren't, but as people with power, wielding that power, is it wielding or yielding? Whatever the fuck the word is. Taking that power and using it to crush people without power. People who are independent outlets and independent voices. And again, this is not a defense of Alex Jones. I don't agree with Alex Jones. I would hold my record up against anybody's in terms of going after him and, you know, holding him accountable, calling out his bullshit, fact-checking him. I've converted more people away from Alex Jones than any of these assholes calling him to be censored ever will. And now you've just given him this outsider edge. Ooh, he must be saying something true because they just cracked down on him. No, wrong. That's not correct. But now they've given everybody that misimpression. And that's a goddamn shame. So I think this is terrible. I think this is terrible. I really do. And now the door is open and there will be censorship. The right wing is gonna cry and scream and bitch and moan like, oh, it is only right wingers who, you know, get cracked down on. Really? Talk to me. Talk to David Pakman. Who got hit worse by adpocalypse? It was me and David Pakman. So, and Jimmy Dore as well, actually. So, the idea that, oh, the crackdown only affects the right. No, it doesn't. That's not true. So, you can take your victim narrative and shove it up your ass. This is bigger than a partisan issue. This is a principle issue. This is Look, my solution, honestly, and some people might disagree with this, but my solution is we really should take Twitter, Facebook, all these social media platforms, they should be regulated as public utilities. So back in the day, there was the public square, and, you know, people could talk in the public square. You couldn't censor somebody in the public square because it's the public square. What's going to happen? The government's going to come and drag you out of there? No, you can't do that. You can't censor somebody in the public square. That would be an actual violation of the First Amendment and free speech. Well, now, the world is digital and technological. So the public square is Twitter, is Facebook. So, and are all these social media platforms. So I think it should be regulated as a public utility. I think you should leave Alex Jones' show up, and I think CNN and MSNBC and any outlet you want to point out, I think every single one of these outlets should dedicate time and energy into taking specific claims of Alex Jones and debunking them. And saying, oh, here's what he said, here are the facts. Here's what he said, here are the facts. Here's what he said, here are the facts. And then guess what? You will have succeeded in making people deconvert from Alex Jones' cult. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. But when you try to cut corners and you go about it in a genuinely authoritarian way, where you try to get him pulled off of various platforms, you somehow come away looking even shittier than he does, which is amazing, because I thought that would be impossible, but apparently it's not. So anyway, that's enough for my driving rant. Like I said, I think there will be a show later today, if everything goes swimmingly.
That was good.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have to play bad boys when he's freaking driving like that. He does look like a narco cop. Yeah. He really does.
So I agree with almost everything that he said. Like, I don't watch mainstream corporate news. MSNBC hired Bill O'Reilly.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised.
I looked it up and it seems true. What?
I'm not surprised. They want.
I'm not surprised either. But
opposition, blah blah blah. Well, here's the thing that I don't know if Kyle had just heard the news and did not know about the Assange angle to the Alex Jones story. It seems a little. It seems likely to me. There's certain things that I don't care about when it comes to Kyle. I think he gets like he has his sides and blah blah blah, and he's all about the ratings and blah blah blah. But when it comes to the free speech issue, he's spot on. Always has been. So I have to, and the thing is too, there can be someone out there, whoever it is, that's wrong 95% of the time. When that person is right, you point it out. You say, you know what, this guy's a jackass most of the time, but he's right about this.
And I don't think Bill O'Reilly's working for MSNBC. Maybe I just heard.
Oh, I'm very upset about that. I was going to run to. Him and Rachel Maddow together. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. But
going to the bowling alley and shit.
I think it makes everyone smarter by hearing what someone's saying, even if they're saying something very badly or wrong or incorrectly. But at least people can either look it up themselves or hear someone else's view on it and say, hey, we're going to break it down. And it makes people think, yeah, that's pretty simple breakdown. Yeah. That's probably not true.
Yeah, you're right, Evan, because Bill O'Reilly said April of last year, I'll see you on CNN in September. He was CNN.
Huh.
I don't know if he's related. If people won't be scared, they'll watch MSNBC all day long. Oh, he is going to MSNBC.
Oh, he is? Can you give me a link to that, either in live chat or in Zoom?
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
What's the name of the news article or whatever that you're looking at?
It was August 10th, 2017 on CNN website. Let me see. Let me make sure.
So there's one.
I hate these pop-ups.
This says an appearance on CNN.
Huh?
I'll see you in September.
It's something called TV Newser. They have that on. I don't know if he was taking a jab at CNN.
I think he was just set to appear as a guest.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's going to be working for them. That would just be weird.
That would be awesome. Or him.
Well, they got Bill Crystal over there.
Yeah.
Him being a host on The View. That would be awesome too. That's always good. Because Joy Behar like always storms out and leaves, and Whoopi like loses her mind. No, I don't watch The View most of the time, but I do watch the clips when I see O'Reilly on. I do want to say something real quick. I was all over the place. First off, my mom is good. She's okay right now. She has a couple of issues, but she's doing okay. But a couple of days, I went to a buddy's house, and we went to Indianapolis for like a day or two, and there was a game convention called Gen Con, and I don't know where Taylor Trivy is, but I know he knows about this. I'm sure he does. Like last week, there is a conservative, like really right-wing leaning guy. His name is Jeremy Hambley, and he's a Magic the Gathering player. And he has done a lot of videos and blah, blah, blah. And apparently he made some negative comments about a gamer that I know who happens to own a game store in Connecticut. Guy's name is Matt Loader, or Matt Fantastic. And the guy also has a game publishing company called Pretty Princess Games. Guy's a reverend, and he's a gay rights activist, and blah, blah, blah. And this guy, Jeremy Hambley, apparently, he says anti-gay stuff. Well, Mr. Loader on Twitter actually posted, "If I see you at Gen Con, I'm going to beat your ass." So someone, and allegedly it was Matt, went up to Mr. Hambley, said, "Hey, are you Jeremy Hambley?" He said, "Yes," and went out to shake his hand, and the guy like cold cocks him in the back of the head and just beats the living hell out of him. So my point is, number one, that's not okay. Again, people have the right to express their views without getting their ass kicked. If somebody is doing something against you, or is being libelous, you sue their ass for libel. But that's not okay. And the second thing is, people may or may not know that I was an acquaintance of this guy. I do not, under any circumstances, if he did this, condone it. I don't condone violence. It drives me crazy when people say they're intolerant of intolerant people, and then that intolerance is not good, and then they show their intolerance by beating the hell out of them or something.
Being
it doesn't make any sense.
is what it is.
Yeah. So, just saying.
Yeah. Just don't be an asshole and don't be a hypocrite, and pretty much life will be good for everybody.
I mean, I like Matt, but if he did this, he's gonna fuck up his life. His reputation is shot to hell. It was all over the freaking news. his game store will be, it'll be in jeopardy. He may be thrown in jail. The guy's going to like already has pressed charges. And, his point about anti-gay stances is spot on. But when you like beat the hell out of somebody, it's like the Antifa argument. Violence does not add credibility to your argument. It completely shoots it to hell. So if Taylor is listening, I know about it. I don't condone it, and I didn't condone it. I don't really, I heard Jeremy's thing. And by the way, the Jeremy Hamley guy is not a nice guy either. He's actually been banned at Magic the Gathering events for harassment. So he's not an angel, but you don't cold cock the guy.
Whoa, Rainbow Boom X.
Boom back at you.
I have a feeling he might know. Do you know about this whole thing? The Gen Con thing?
Me, nah.
No, I thought Boom X might know. Apparently not.
Is this the first time we had Rainbow Boom X on?
Nah. I've seen him before.
I can't remember. I remember he's shot, obviously. Too many rabbit holes. It'll do that to you.
What about David Schley or whatever? What the hell was his name?
Oh, David Schmarth. He's the friendly troll, the mattress king. Look, I like trolls. I like agents. Don't get me wrong. I want to convert them over to fight against the establishment, fight against the corruption.
I like them trolls, and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
No other. Yeah.
And the FBI that are watching, hey, we need your help too. If you guys are in for the corrupt government, dude, you guys should not be. You got to get on the people's side and get these corrupt motherfuckers out. That's all I got to say.
Oh, you guys always didn't trust the government. No, actually, last year we were freaking for hours on end. We were talking about, how we had to get Bernie in and blah, 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 and who was running and blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
So
I get you.
Hi, Rainbow.
Yeah, you want to test your mic out, Rainbow?
I've got good news.
All right. Hey, that's Shirley's line. Oh, no, wait. Shirley's is, have you guys heard?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard?
All right, what's your good news, Ryan?
I just got back from
Stop picking
court.
with me.
We're not
I'm not picking on you. We're showing you love, Shirley.
Yeah.
We're showing you that we don't say something from anybody else, just you. So you're the special one. I went to court today about my neighbour. He turned up, and the magistrate shut him down, and the 5-year intervention order stands.
Nice.
Good.
And you see, you didn't have to beat his ass.
Exactly. I've got to go back to court because he's going to file intervention orders against me for some fucked up unknown reason. It'll be a vengeance thing, and they'll throw it out of court because that's how they'll see it. He doesn't have really a leg to stand on. I've done nothing to him. I've said nothing to him. I haven't instigated anything against him. So I've only retaliated. I've never actually instigated anything. So if he did damage to my property, then I'd go over and visit it. Yeah, just dangerous shit like leaving the bin in the middle of my driveway. So when I got out of my car, I almost got hit by another car. So it's just petty shit, but it's annoying and it doesn't end. And it gets to a point where you've just got to say, look, I need to take legal action against this guy just to get him to stop. Yeah. Because he's acting like a child.
Oh, you're a better man than me.
So, Yeah, I mean, he's going to file, and they're just going to look at him, and I'm just going to say this is just in retaliation to my 5 years. I mean, I don't do anything to them. I leave them alone. I don't make any complaints to the council. I mean, yeah.
That's good news.
So, yeah, it is good news.
So what are your thoughts about Alex Jones being banned on 4 different platforms so far?
Not good. Not good. Even though I disagree with 999,000% of what he says and does, you've got to let the dude have his platform. I mean, fuck. I watched this Netflix documentary on. No, it was Four Corners on the ABC. One day we'll have a Four Corners, and it's about Facebook and how they moderate the content on Facebook. And some of the shit that they let go is just fucking astonishing. Like, and then they want to go and censor someone who thinks that turning the frog's gay. I mean,
well, here's the thing too. The left always bitches and moans and complains and kvetches when they get shadow banned or and they have every right to. But when someone on the other side gets it, yay! No. It's fair and equal. It's equal treatment.
I mean, he doesn't ever provoke violence. Not that I've ever seen. Like, he doesn't say you've got to go here and do this, and this. You got to arm yourself with guns and go here and because the frogs are gay and we can't have that and shit. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that. He's just a propagandist. That's all he is.
The worst thing that he ever said was the Sandy Hook crap.
Yes.
That was the worst thing that he said.
And I agree with that. I agree that there is limits to what you can say, especially about that. I mean, there's a guy who's in hiding because and has very limited internet access because the trolls won't leave him alone because his son died. And they're calling him a hoax and all this other type of stuff. And it's just like, the poor fucker lost his child and he can't even get on the internet because dickheads are following him around and doxing him and all this type of stuff. Just so because somebody said it was a false flag. So
if you had evidence to that and legitimate evidence to that,
present it.
Present it. Debbie with the Vegas stuff. It's like present the evidence. And what blows my mind is how people listen to Alex about Sandy Hook, and then people give Debbie crap about the Vegas thing. So, I don't know, but I can completely understand. I would have felt the exact same way. I would have felt infuriated if someone said that Virginia Tech was a false flag. The Virginia Tech shooting was a false flag because I knew fucking people that were there. Okay, and it's like, no. That is a completely different thing, but not every shooting is a false flag.
No. I mean, but if you're gonna go around calling shit a false flag, people have lost their lives, man. There's people grieving. There are people that'll never get over the fact that they lost their child.
It's sons and daughters that and young kids.
But does it ever come across as either the government didn't do their job, or maybe the government was complicit in that happening in order to further an agenda, a political agenda, or maybe a control agenda? I am in the sentiment of Richard Feynman, where I would rather have where questions that can't be answered and answers that can't be questioned. And so yes, there's sentiments, sad stuff. You don't want to go brazenly just really like ridiculing
who did that national story with Alex on the Sandy Hook thing? I can't remember her name. It was a reporter who interviewed him, and the fact that she did that legitimized the story in some people's eyes, and I don't know how I feel about it. If you're going in with the intent of debunking it, then debunk it, but don't just stir it up for the sake of stirring it up.
I mean, when you're trying to debunk it and you hit a pit stop, and you'll hit a lot, it's like, hey, can we get coroner's report? There you go. No. Can I get I'll send FOIA request for the coroner's report and see what happens, and you want to go more is
right.
You keep going into it, and that's the thing is when you keep investigating it, a lot of times that they just won't let you in for that information, so you just keep going for that information.
If I was a father who, and this is extreme, but if I was a father, grieving father, who's being harassed and doxxed and bullshit and all of that, I don't know, I don't know if the mother's around or whatever. I may go as far as freaking exhuming the body and suing the fuck out of him for defamation or libel or whatever. Because
I mean, do you really need to? Sorry, Dave, but do you really need to dig the bodies up?
If I'm that pissed off, I mean, that's the most extreme thing that you could possibly do. I mean, what do they need? Seriously, do they need the coroner's report? I would imagine that the parents could have the coroner's report. And what the hell else do you need?
And there's also another side to this, because there's a lot of anonymity, trolls, whatever you want to call them, agents. Right. They could actually be the ones that's instigating it, and they're within the government trying to get people to call these conspiracy theories crazies. And thus, any time there's conspiracy theories against the government, then you've got, oh, conspiracy theorist, he's crazy. No way that government is doing this. And of course, we know government does things like this all the time. So it's hard to file lawsuits against people who are anonymous, because you don't know who they are. Is one. So there's so many facets to this, and the thing is, you can find ways to get rid of anonymity. They don't implement that. One thing that a lot of platforms can do that they don't, for example, YouTube, all they have to do is just being able to look at and not being able to hide one person's comments, right? Because you got people who are on YouTube that comment everywhere,
right?
But you can't go to their profile and see all their comments. And
right.
But they have that in different other types of platforms and software, where you can follow one person's comments and see all the comments they have ever done, and they can't hide from it.
To see how trolly they are.
Exactly. Or how they're just trying to instigate things, or try to put a narrative in people's minds and things like that. Wow.
Yeah,
Hey, Dominic.
Oh, Dominic.
Shirley.
Shirley.
All right, I'm muting you, Shirley. There's just a lot of static. Once you get that fixed, let me know.
So who were the four? So it's YouTube, Apple,
Facebook, and Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify removed him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
So what are your thoughts, Dominic?
That's really interesting.
I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you great.
Yeah. I'm still on my phone. I got a new computer coming. Should be here by Friday.
Nice.
No, I was listening, with the Alex Jones thing, with that gay frogs. There is something to that. There's, if you go on and search that, there's something in the water that's changing the gender of male frogs.
Temperature.
And I don't know. I forget what it is, but you know, there's some truth to what he's saying there, and I, you know, because I thought it was ridiculous too, and then I looked at it, and then somebody had on Twitter, I think, you know, that it's true.
Yeah.
And
well, here's the good thing about it is I'm big on animals. Is a lot of amphibians, because they grow up in aquatic life early on, and then all this other stuff. Their skin is a lot more absorbent of chemicals, and so whenever there's maybe pollution in a water source, they look at the frogs and other amphibians, salamanders, and they see what the effects of them are, because they're going to be the ones that are going to most likely show results of any.
Because they're having trouble at the moment with the turtles that lay eggs in Queensland because it's too hot, and they're all coming out the one sex. They're all coming out the one gender. So they literally have to go in there and scoop out the eggs and incubate them at the right temperature, so they get an equal dispersion of genders.
That would affect alligators and crocodiles too, because that's the same way. Like if it's a certain temperature, they're females. Certain temperature below, they're males, type of thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think that would even that could probably go into frogs and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. Get an amphibian expert on here, Eben. We need an amphibian expert.
It's something I'm going to look up, and maybe I'll do it on topic again, and people will be calling, oh, Ebon's doing one of those videos again. Hey, I like to look into things. I don't care what people think. So,
you know, when I hear the whole gay frog thing, I think of Kermit the Frog wearing a boa. I mean, you know, it's just. I know it said. I know Alex has a point, sort of, but the way he says it, it's like, you know, yeah, it is entertaining. So
it's kind of like having the bullfrog from Looney Tunes. Hello, my darling.
Exactly.
You know?
Hello,
my ragdoll girl.
You know, to go back to Alex Jones being censored, did you see what that Chris Murphy said? It was on Twitter, and he said that Alex Jones is just the first, and he says we have to go after these companies to police themselves, and he's naming all of them, you know, like Facebook, YouTube, you know, Twitter. You know, they're going. This is like censorship, like full speed.
Oh, what?
Well, Kyle Kalinske, I think he has something. He's onto something by saying that companies like Facebook, Twitter, you know, people that have those online platforms should be considered utilities at this point.
That's messed up. See?
Chris Murphy. I know that name.
He's a U.S. Senator from Connecticut.
Okay. That's why I know him.
The survival of our democracy depends on it. Does he not understand what democracy of the United States in the Constitution is?
He sounds like a Democrat.
That's horrible.
I know. And this is, you know, most people aren't even aware of it. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. People are probably celebrating, a lot of people.
Yeah, some people are.
Isn't that weird that a lot of the people here that oppose some of the things that don't that he said, that Alex Jones says?
Let's just go for the freaking copyright trifecta.
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
I don't know. A singing, dancing frog? I don't think he's gay. You're
He's just
you're muted,
artistic.
Ryan.
Did you ever see
Yeah,
that?
Ryan,
damn,
we can't hear you. Sorry.
I love that frog. Whenever he came on TV, when I was younger, they always had the Looney Tunes cartoons on between what was it? Would have been about 3 o'clock to 4:30, and that frog and Foghorn Leghorn were my favorites. And then they brought out Pinky and the Brain, and I was like 17 years old, and I was watching it. I was just addicted to the cartoon at 17 years of age. It was such a good cartoon.
I said Foghorn Leghorn. Sorry. All right.
Yeah. I know. What are we gonna do tomorrow, Brain? The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah. Look, we a lot of us here, which is crazy. I mean, not that crazy. We don't really like Infowars too much. We don't really watch it, but we definitely do not like what happened to it, and that shows a lot. And again, it's a principle thing. And I can't wait till I talk with CommonSense Avenger and Political Avenger tomorrow. They're coming on for an interview, noon Eastern time. And I do know that they watch it. I love talking to the right as well as just the left or the non-partisan. It's hard to find non-partisans these days. And just their take on it, because I don't like just always talking to just one side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is a rule. There is a saying in the union circles: if management can do it to a guy you hate, they can do it to you. Okay, if they're going to get away with it with this guy that you might not like, they're going to do it to you, or do it to somebody that you like, or do it to a family member or whatever. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I also think that, like, his reach, you know what I mean? His overall reach, they're willing to do it with someone who's got such a big reach. So they're not going to have any problem doing it to, like, Eben, me, Dave, James, you name it. They don't give a fuck, mate. If they're going to do it to someone that big, then people who have less following than them are just going to be chop suey, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they even bother with somebody like us? I mean,
well, if they wanted to block all content,
yeah, that's true.
You know, if they wanted to block all the content, then they can do that. You know?
Well, they could do that whole thing where anyone that uses the word whatever oligarchy, let's say, they pick that word. Jimmy Dore is gone. Ron Placone is gone. Deb Delapiano is gone. I'm gone.
Jamal
Tomorrow is gone. Holly
Tim
is
Black.
gone. Tim Black is gone. Nico House is gone. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? There's just nothing you can do about it.
We just all leave. I mean, it'll be an empty platform, and then
we just punch each other.
They'll still make money. They'll still make money out of their fail videos. Don't worry.
Yeah, and then it goes to just show. I mean, I think there's a lot out there. DLive, Steam It, DTube. It's getting to be that no one could really stop it unless they get control of the developers or something like that. And even then, it's still kind of tough.
I'm waiting to see because I know that Kim.com's been working on the damn thing for forever. I'm waiting to see if it works. And, I'm just waiting for the motley stew of people that come on that platform, and to see if quote unquote mainstreamy kind of people come on as well.
You know what I would love for someone huge to do is to put their content up on a porn site. So it's just political, whatever it is that they do, put it on a porn site. Because, I mean, a lot of stuff goes on those porn sites. that aren't stopped. I think it's
I'd say that there's two problems with that. There will be people won't go because it's a porn site. All right, it's like, you know, you look at the browsing history of your 18-year-old son, and he's visiting Pornhub 24/7, 7 days a week, and you go in there, and he's, you know, like, what the fuck are you doing, son? It's like, oh, I'm watching political videos. I'm watching political videos on Pornhub. It's like I only buy porn magazines for the articles. It's like, yeah, right, fuck off, type thing. So I totally agree. I agree with what your sentiments of going to a platform, but people that have like things to lose won't go because, you know.
Did y'all ever see that commercial where the kid or the father finds the kid's stash and he's like, where did you get this? And the kid's like, I learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from you. That picture in my head, just, you know, why are you on porn sites? I'm watching you, Dad.
Imagine how bad it would be if you were sitting there and you're just going through porn site and you're looking through amateur MILFs, and there were your parents going for it, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Let's stop talking about this.
so there's reasons why that theory probably wouldn't work.
Yeah. that would be like our last option. We got nowhere else to go. Porn sites. That's where we're uploading our political videos.
even Ted from Ted 2 and freaking Marky Mark are like busting their computers over watching our videos. Did anybody see Ted 2?
You know, you could go to Chatterbait, because when you think about it, if they say Chatterbait, it's like, yeah, we're chatting and we're debating. There you go, Chatterbait.
Just have a big blur. Just
we're chat
chest down.
Yeah, we're chatting and we're debating. We're not chatting and masturbating. There's a difference.
That's a good one. Yeah,
it's an idea.
So speaking of porn and orgies, Jamal Thomas is doing a video on the whole Alex Jones thing too. I mean, you know, people on the left and they get it. They get the point. And yes, I had to say, you know, Jamal and orgies. Dude, somebody bullshit man should do a freaking montage of Jamal just saying orgies like 4,000 times from like 4,000 different videos.
Well, you could probably do it because when Jamal talks, he does a lot of pauses in his speech. Yeah. So you can always find, I like orgies. I like orgies. And then you get the pen. I like orgies. You could find a good one.
You do you. You do you. Orgies. You do you. Orgies. You do you.
You could go on Fiverr and get a voiceover. Get a woman to go, I do you. Orgies. And then he gets one. He just like hotkeys his keyboard and like Tim Black does.
Oh, and hold your shape. You do you. You could go crazy.
Yeah,
I like Jamal, but
Jamal is good.
That's an idea. That's an idea for a Christmas present for him. All right.
Or the tepid. We'll get like the Tim Black sing tepid.
Tepid.
And then
I've been doing this channel for 5 years. You don't come on here and tell me what to do.
Oh my God.
Jacob,
you won't believe this fishing is real. Huh.
What are you looking at?
Emma's Fishing.
Emma's Fishing?
Yeah.
Are you on Chatterbait right now?
It's possible. freaking, you know, she's like bending over with cleavage and she's like touching eels or something. It's weird. But it's on YouTube. And she's live now. She's live now if you want to check her out.
That's a good joke by Christian. It's a very good joke.
Yeah.
I love it. That's gold, Christian.
You know, maybe I'd have more views if I showed cleavage. I actually wear my V-necks more. Come on, cleavage.
Hold your shape, Evan.
Have that big hairy chest.
Yeah.
Pushing up the man boobs.
Christian, come on in here. Take your shirt off. I think that'll get all the ladies in.
Oh, God.
It'd be good if we had more ladies.
Christian, I'm not sure if you saw, but during the interview with Elizabeth on the Unity for J, the live chat were going, "Ooh, who's that cutie over there?" I'm pretty sure Christian knows about that. We gotta bring him on here so he could start blushing.
His chic Fidel Castro look on his avatar. He's like, whatever, with that beard going.
Yeah. Oh man.
Castro Vogue.
You should do the whole Castro thing. Get the facial hair going, buy a hat, get a cigar. That'd be awesome.
Somebody just asked in chat, is this a porn tube?
Yes, it is, Jinx.
Yes, it is.
She knows. He knows. I don't know.
I'm the main star. I'm the highlight. The main, whatever you want to call it.
I play the pizza delivery guy.
I mean,
problem is I eat all the props.
And the pizza delivery guy doesn't eat any pizza, but he does eat.
Oh God.
Eben, you've got to put an R rating, otherwise you're going to get banned from YouTube.
We're probably X-rated. I don't know.
Hold your shape, Evan.
Oh, I've got something. Because what you can do is, and I'm going to do this. Let's see. D for OBS. There we go. This is blur. Cool. All right, so I'm going to add in something here. Image. Blur tool. Yes, blur tool. There we go. Now we can blur out people. Woo! Everybody, don't look at Ryan Bannock. He's naked. It's a blur tool. Woo!
Cool.
Yeah, that worked well.
I need to make different versions of it.
Or you like try to blur my face because I'm saying controversial stuff.
Oh yeah, we got
over here.
We gotta censor your mouth there.
Hey guys, I have to tell you something very disturbing that happened in Philadelphia today.
Go for it, show.
I was in Philadelphia, so I had nothing to do with it.
Well, police officers went to a house to serve an arrest warrant. The homeowner, I don't know, I don't think they knocked on the door and let them know who they were, but the homeowner was armed. And when he saw them, I guess he thought people was trying to rob his house. So he shot at him, and the one officer got shot in the face.
Oh, Jesus.
And the person they were looking for wasn't even there. He turned himself in later on. That was his grandparents. And they shot the 60-year-old woman, so that must have been his grandmother. I'm trying to figure out how they going to do this because they couldn't have let them know. I could see if they had a search warrant, but it was an arrest warrant. They must have used a batter ram to get in the house for that man to grab his gun to go after them.
Oh, well, it was a battering ram. This is freaking Philly. God's sake.
Yeah. And something happened last week where a white homeowner called the cops and told them that there was an intruder in his house. He shot the intruder, and when the cops got there, they killed him, and he was white. I'm like, this is crazy.
I don't understand why cops need to go in all guns blazing. Why can't they just go up and knock on the door and say, is Timmy here? We've got a warrant for Timmy's arrest. And if Timmy runs, then you go and chase Timmy. You know? I know it's a different world, Australia and America and guns and stuff, but...
There's a thing here called donuts that really hold everything back as far as that goes.
What, are you saying the cops can't run so they got to shoot people?
Yeah, or they just would rather shoot people and not worry about running after them. Sorry, go ahead, Shirley.
Oh, God.
I think that's their job. The government tells them that's their job they have to do. Because I can't believe all these cops are that crazy and they're being trained like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think most of the cops are vets, aren't they? They probably get veterans preference. You know, I certainly wouldn't want to be in a foxhole with one of those guys when something happened. You know, as soon as they just start shooting every time they get scared.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they can't use some old school policing and knock on the door and ask if they're there. And if they say no, they're not there, then you come back later.
Yeah, the one thing
like around here, I think last week, it's this house with these two. I call them the ghetto people because I live in that middle class neighborhood and they are just out of order around here. Well, the one guy that lived there, he has a warrant out on him. There was a bunch of cops that came over, parked on my block, and all you had to do was walk through a driveway and get to the house on the boulevard. And it was a bunch of them. They had a batter ram, but I believe they knocked on the door and they got no answer, and then they left. I don't know what happened today.
Yeah, I don't understand why. You know, sure, if somebody has an arrest warrant for murder or something like that, then sure you need to be proactive about trying to capture them. But if it's just an arrest warrant for petty crime, then the people turn up eventually. It's not as if they don't turn up.
Yeah, but this guy, he turned himself in hours later after the incident happened. Only 20 years old.
Exactly. It's like, okay, if Timmy's not here, next time you see Timmy, here's a business card. Get Timmy to give me a call. I mean...
Well, I don't think they followed that protocol, and they're not saying they did. I think they're trying to cover up big time.
Just I don't understand modern policing. Why everything's a nail and they're a hammer.
Well, honestly, when I was growing up, it wasn't like this back in the day. I mean, we knew all these neighborhoods, inner city neighborhoods, knows who the cops are, and the cops know who's in the neighborhood. So today, it's just totally different. And we have bicycle cops. They ride around the neighborhood. They know who's who in the neighborhood. And people say, oh, well, we need to get some more black officers. They just as worse as the goddamn, because they worse than more than the goddamn white cops. So it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. They do similar things here. Is when they're looking for someone, they'll just bust down doors and shit. And it's unnecessary. So it's just completely unnecessary. But who am I? I'm not the police, so I'm not Victoria Police.
They claim they repeatedly announced themselves. I don't see this. The 59-year-old man, I can't see him. He didn't hear them saying this. I don't.
You know what it
believe that.
was? You know what it was?
What?
Philly police open up. We have an arrest warrant for Timmy. If you don't open up, we're going to come in and break the door down. Last warning. And then it's like, Philadelphia police.
I mean, what if
arrest warrant?
What if he was taking a dump?
And they were on the second floor of their house when this was all going on.
What happens if he was asleep?
Yeah.
Or how about because he wasn't there?
Yeah, he wasn't. They didn't give him. I don't think they gave him a chance to answer the door, or he didn't really hear them. Because right now it's hot here, so people have on air conditioners. It's hard to hear if somebody's knocking on your door.
I just don't believe that police should be so aggressive. I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to know what the grandson's been charged with. If it's just, something like burglary or drug possession or something like that, then yeah, it's unnecessary. Yeah. For some reason, police think policing by fear is the only way to police. So,
yeah, and all they have to do is they just piss off the wrong person who doesn't like that use of force against them, and things just get a lot worse when all you have to do is ask politely and someone will go, oh, okay. Like, someone asks politely, what are you going to say? No? You're an asshole? And they're going to be like, okay, sure. It's like, yeah. And then they'll know right away. If a person reacts to you asking politely, there's something wrong, right? So then they can react to it in the appropriate way. But when your first action is to be angry or to be confrontational, you can get that in return. So,
well, don't they say that there's the three Fs: fight, flight, or fright?
I don't know.
So, like, and everybody's one of those three. So if somebody's startled or scared, they do one of the three things. They either just sit there and or they run, which a lot of people do, or they freeze. So yeah.
Oh, also fight, flight, or
freeze. Or freeze.
Okay. That's pretty interesting, yeah.
And apparently there's
so they're hoping
everybody suffers from it.
So are the cops hoping that the people that they're trying to get after are going to 2 out of the 3 rather than the 1 fight stance?
Yeah, well, they hope that they freeze.
Well, that's why they say freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to do more of that, or I don't know. They'll say freeze, and then they run and they shoot.
But the police are just. I mean, They need to take a chill pill.
Yeah.
I know they deal with shitty people. I know they deal with drug affected people. I know they deal with people with serious mental health issues. But it doesn't give you the right to treat people like shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's yeah.
So,
but you know, I think being in that type of environment, I think it affects them more than they realize.
mm-hmm.
I mean, they're dealing with people who are constantly either, well, first they have to deal within the organization and the higher ups telling them exactly what to do, how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if they think it's not correct or if they think it's wrong. Then they have to go actually do their job with people who are gonna resist or they're gonna not respect them. So they're disrespected almost every day, and it's gonna wear down on them. And they're gonna probably be just as mentally unstable as people that they go out and round up. And people don't think
Yeah, but
about
they
that
be
aspect.
disrespected because of things they do.
Yeah.
Being disrespected doesn't give you the right to treat people like shit.
Yeah.
I was a chef and I was treated like shit every fucking day, but you didn't see me going around bashing people up.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see. You know, my job was stressful. It took me over 3 years to get my qualifications. It takes them 31 weeks to get a gun. You know, just so I don't poison people. But they get the ability to have a gun after 31 weeks. So, and respect is earned. Respect is the idea that police should be respected because they're police is a misnomer. The police don't respect you straight away. They see you as a threat. So there's no respect there. So the idea that respect should be automatic because they wear a badge and a costume and they have a gun and a baton and pepper spray and a name badge and fancy shoulder shit doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? You know, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, whatever they are, the stripes. To say,
stripes. Insignia.
Look at me, I'm a senior so-and-so.
Insignia.
But you know what I'm talking about. The shoulder stripes.
Yeah, okay.
You have them in the military.
Yeah, they're called insignia. At first, I thought you were thinking like tassels or something.
No. But this is the thing. Like, people break the law, knowingly or unknowingly break the law, right? Walking up to them and abusing them is not going to gain you the respect. You know, I can show you videos of the way that Victoria Police talk to people who have broken the law, and it's fucking disgusting. And the idea that that they should get upset at people breaking the law. It's your fucking job to enforce the law. That's your job. Your job is to point out the people who are breaking the law and then enforce the law. Don't get upset with that.
I don't think the police like how you're talking, so I'm gonna censor your mouth.
I couldn't give a fuck about the police, to be honest with you. I mean, the Victorian police are fucking do nothing anyway. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I went down and I made a complaint about my neighbour while we were waiting to go today, and he stuck his finger up at me. And I went down to the police, and they're like, "Yeah, that's against Section 2 of the intervention order. But we can't do anything because it's your mum who's the witness. And because she's family, we can't do anything." And then it's like, well, what's the point of having a protection order then? If I'm not being protected, what's the point of having... Victoria Police just try and do whatever they can to get out of doing their job. And then when it's time to fucking slam somebody's head into the ground, they're all raring to go. They don't like doing the shitty paperwork stuff. They just want to get out there and fucking slam people into the ground.
Certain mentality, I guess.
But it's institutional mentality. You know, it's not just how do I say it? It's not just one police officer, it's multiple police officers. You know, it's the organization that fails. And I dare say it happens around the world. Who's that?
That's Myrmir. I don't know how to pronounce that right. Can you mute your YouTube on the background?
I just put it on mute.
Okay. How's it going?
Who's this? Who's this? Is this Eric? Or no?
Ebon.
Who am I talking to?
Ebon and Ryan. We're the ones kind of talking a lot right now.
I know. You guys are awesome.
Thanks.
I know I am, but I don't know about Eben. I don't know about that Eben dude. He goes off some kooky land sometimes.
Right. Well, I've got turned on you guys through the Unity for J.
Oh.
I'm that Mayor Mir in the Panhandle.
Yep.
Yeah.
We know.
Kind of a. Oh, oh no. I have to keep it. Yeah.
Eben knew you were coming on before you knew you were coming on, so don't worry about that.
Oh, shit, y'all. Y'all scare me. You tech guys. I used to work with GDIT.
Wait,
y'all are just like them.
Why are you scared of us?
Because you guys are like the wizards behind the fucking curtain. Right? And I'm like Penny. Y'all are my Sheldon.
Well, it's good to have another female on here.
Oh no, are you guys listening to me? I can't hear. How can I see? That's what I'm saying. Is all this tech shit's too much for me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
That's right.
Okay, so it's like in a delay.
Yep, there's a delay. So what the best thing is to do is just don't listen on YouTube, so mute the YouTube and just talk normally like you would with anyone else on the phone. And that way it doesn't get very confusing.
Okay, so like if the green is on this phone, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm trying to see sign language there from Ebon. I'm going to try like tomorrow night to like dial in through Zoom, and that way it's easier, right? Do I need headphones for
that? No. Well, you can. It might be better so we don't get a lot of like reverb or feedback. But you don't have to. I mean, you're calling through Zoom as is. I mean, unless you want to go through the actual Zoom app on your smartphone, you could do that.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. This girl don't have no cell phone.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
I used to work for the government. I know how they. I don't want them knowing nothing about me. At least
okay.
as possible.
All right. So
I'm still waiting for ASIO to rock up on my doorstep.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, you just got cut off.
I know how they. I don't want them knowing nothing about me. At least as possible.
I'm waiting for ASIO to rock up on my doorstep, Eben.
Who's ASIO?
ASIO, Australian Security and something, jerking off something. coming, jerking off. So I don't know. Fucking ASIO's like the FBI.
Well, hey, they might. They'll ask you a couple of questions, but hey, just be friendly and know what's going on.
Australian Security Intelligence Organisation.
Okay.
I might contact them and dub myself in.
Isn't it a crazy world we live in when the FBI will come at your door for things that you posted on a social media website or we said in your show? Where it's not violence, you don't want to incite violence. Violence is usually the last option that you want to take and never initiate it. Yet we want to stop the corruption where they're always doing the violence towards us first. They never do it as a last resort. They always do it first towards the people who live in the countries. Isn't that odd?
They probably looked at it. Oh, he's moved from Boston to Massachusetts to
Massachusetts. I love that.
to Nebraska. He's probably gonna be making some sort of, bunker out there, and just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
So
if I wanted to build a bunker, I'd probably live in Texas. And who wants to live in Texas? All right, sorry. Go ahead, Shirley.
I wouldn't be surprised if FBI show up at my door either.
Yeah.
My husband warned me. He said, "You keep talking the stuff you talking on the phone and things, FBI will come to our door."
It was like,
I said, "I welcome them. I don't have anything to hide."
Yeah.
I tried to make a donation to Syriana Analysis YouTube channel through PayPal, and they froze my account. And it took me like 3 days. I had to go through security to get them to unfreeze my account.
My God.
Yep. Yep. And it said right in the response that's what triggered it, that you tried to make a donation to Syria, regarding Syria or something like that. And we need to have you contact security to investigate the account. Yeah, that's wild. I put it on Twitter too. I took a screenshot of it and put it on Twitter.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find that now.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I know.
When was this?
Like around the first or the fourth. Let me see. I might be able to find it.
Okay.
I'm on my phone.
Sure.
It's just like that book, 1984.
Yeah.
It's more like Brave New World and 1984.
Oh,
I found it, but I don't know how to share a screen. Oh, let me see. Share content. Here, okay, here.
Guys, I'm going to try to call in tomorrow night through Zoom because I really want to talk to you guys, and I hate talking over everybody. So, aloha, mahalo, and I'm just going to keep watching on YouTube.
All right.
Okay?
Thank
Ciao
you.
for now.
We can't wait to
All right,
talk
you
with you
guys
tomorrow.
rock.
see ya.
Bye.
Okay,
Can you
ciao.
see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So, wow.
That
Yeah, it's gonna be weird when we just start seeing just a lot of blocking from credit card companies to certain types of funds. You know, just like we see how WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, where it's either PayPal or if it's either what's that Coinbase for and a couple of other credit card companies where it's just you really can't donate to their cause. They won't allow it. I mean, it's weird.
Well, last month I got my WikiLeaks shirt. I didn't get no alert yet.
Yeah. That's something I want to do. Get some I need a free ass shirt. Surely. People who don't know, it's just an inside joke. So, Shirley was wearing a free Assange shirt, but people were like, "Oh yeah," giving her like fist bumps and stuff because they saw free ass and not free Assange.
Because I had on a necklace, it was blocking part of his name. And I'm like, do you know who that is? They're like, no, we never heard of him. I'm like, oh my God. And this is in my black community. They got to start getting awake and getting into politics. So politics affects your life.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And churches.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it than just politics, but yeah, what's lawful, that what they can't legislate against you. They can't legislate to do things like can't boycott. Boycotting is a fundamental right.
Exactly. I like boycotting. People should just go and boycott the DNC, boycott Hollywood, boycott the corporate media. I mean, it's like with these like social justice warriors that protest over like, you know, pathetic wedge issue, social issues, but they don't protest any corrupted issues. That's what bothers me. I'm like, oh, you won't bake a cake for the gay person? We should boycott and starve your business out. We're triggered. Yes, exactly. They get triggered by it. But you know what? Did someone actually? You know what? Here's one thing I would understand if there was like, you know, if there was like a gay person that didn't want to buy from like, you know, a corporation and rather, you know, buy from like a small business. I'd be like, you know, I can understand and respect your, you know, your value system, but I would rather give my money to an actual business that actually deserves my money opposed to a corporation. Like, you know, one of those, you know, that, you know, the one that actually cares that, you know, the diversity stuff, but, you know, propagates it.
Yeah. So Ryan, I'm gonna.
But I get what they. I'm sorry. No. I get what they stand for, but at the same time, I get what they stand for in principle. But like, I would, because like with me, I wouldn't care because I would just take the money. But there were some things, you know, if I owned a cake store, of course I'd bake one for, you know, a gay person. It doesn't bother me, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, with me, there would be certain things I wouldn't do out of principle, though, which I can understand, but it doesn't mean that you should go and boycott and starve out the, you know, the small business. But that's just my way of thinking.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of end it short. Ryan, do you want to take over onto your channel?
I've got some mental health stuff that I've got to do that I'm just about to start. So
okay.
Yeah.
But boycott Hollywood. They deserve it the most, especially supporting the Democratic Party. All right, I won't. Sorry. The Hollywood liberals like lecture for the establishment media and the corporate media than the corrupted media. That's why, you know, it gives me the good reason to boycott them. Like, you know, I know it sounds like a little SJW of me, but it's like. But I'm not like them at all. Like, you know, I'm for free speech. You know, I'm not for censorship. I think it sucks. I think it's fucking stupid. And what they did to Alex Jones sucks.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't deplatform him. It's like, you know, deplatforming a business because of like some stupid fucking rhetoric.
Yeah.
But that's the way I do think.
That's good. And
I mean, like
everyone
when it
should
comes to
have their
Hollywood-
ability to think for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Hollywood doesn't think for themselves. They work for fake news too because they're part of that propaganda culture. I think about it with the word PC, political control, propaganda control, like propaganda culture, propaganda censorship, all that crap.
It's all mixed in and it's bad. It sucks. But I thank you guys for joining in. Shirley, Eric, Dominic, Dave, who left, and a couple of others. Rainbow
Right.
Boom X.
Love
we
you
didn't get
all.
to
Good
hear you.
night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
See you guys tomorrow.
Love you long time.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.